Welcome to the first 2013 installment of the Home Stretch, a chance for us to stretch our legs a bit and bring you a slice of the Naperville sporting life. Our first story takes place on the court. For a high school senior, May is a time to look back, relax, and graduate. If you're an athlete in a spring sport, it's also time for the state tournament. Recent Naperville North graduate and volleyball setter Gert Leisha had something different on his agenda, traveling more than 5,000 miles to play the game he loves. Our own Justin Zipser has that story.
Life should be pretty simple for a graduating high school senior, but for Naperville North's Gert Leisha, not so much. Instead of getting ready for finals, the 17-year-old volleyball star headed to Albania to play for its national team for 2 weeks. It was a hard decision for the U.S.-born player with dual citizenship. If he played for Albania, he would most likely miss North's entire postseason run.
At first I was like, Dad, I'm not going. I was like, I can't miss. And then my dad's like, yeah, and we just started talking about it more. And I was just contemplating should I leave? It was so hard. I could not leave my team.
But after a month of thinking it over, Leisha decided that playing with professionals, some more than double his age, would set him up for volleyball opportunities later in life. He first told his team.
We're friends, we hang out at school all the time, and I talked to them and said what they thought. Dan and Brennan, they were kind of upset, but at the same time, they believed in themselves, and I believed in them. I told them, I was like, you guys can still make it to where I could come back.
And then he told his coach.
It's about the guys in Naperville North and coming up through the program. I know Gert's only been with us for 2 years, but I know really value the opinion of the other guys. And it's extremely difficult for a 17-year-old to pass up a chance to play against grown men in the World Championships. That's something that, it's a once-in-a-lifetime type of deal. I know it wasn't an easy one for him.
One factor that made the choice easier was Albania's longtime coach, Yili Tamori. As luck would have it, Tamori coached Leisha's father when he played volleyball.
They were getting a lot of players from outside, Italy and Greece and all this stuff. And my dad was like, yeah, he's like, my son plays, you can see video, see what you think. Then he gave us a phone call. He was like, yeah, she should come down and be in the top, the 12-man roster. So I was really excited.
He practiced with the team as they geared up for the 2014 International Federation of Volleyball World Championship qualifiers. As a setter, Leisha's main goal is putting the volleyball where his teammates want it. This was his biggest hurdle to overcome.
First 4 practices, I was just completely out of it. I didn't know how the coach wanted me to run stuff. It was a completely different system. Players were different, different tendencies. They wanted it different ways. It was just so much stuff I had to change.
But he gained his footing for the team's 3 qualifying matches against Macedonia, Ukraine, and Montenegro. The team finished 0-3, failing to advance. All the while, his other team back in the States was gunning for a state title.
It's been a little different without Gert. We've been missing that right side block, but I think defensively, just the off-blocker D, we've all stepped up, and we've worked with it, and we've gotten balls up, and we continue to do well.
The Huskies took care of number 1 seed Lions to get to the Proviso West sectional semifinal against Downers Grove South. North pulled together for a third set comeback, but ultimately lost. And despite a 7-hour time difference, Leisha was on the edge of his seat more than 5,000 miles away.
I'd tell one of the sophomores that was on the JV team, I'd be like, hey, give me updates, I want to know how the game's going. I was just in my bed, just oh my God. I was like, please just win. This is one last game. But they had an amazing run.
A run that ended just before Leisha returned to the States. Though he didn't get a chance to rejoin his team, he still picked up some valuable tips overseas.
It was really business-oriented, practice in the morning, practice in the afternoon, go to sleep, eat right, sleep well, just everything that they do is just how a professional acts like a professional athlete.
Now Leisha's getting ready for another move, this one to Romeoville, where he'll play scholarship volleyball at Lewis University in the winter. The D1 program is a perennial powerhouse. Next summer, Leisha hopes to return to the Albanian National Team. Reporting from Naperville, I'm Justin Zipser for the Home Stretch.
We've got more stories on the way. The boys of summer own our next segment. Don't go anywhere.
Nice. Yes, go! Yes, yes! Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Traditional light bulbs actually generate 9 times more heat than light. Switch to Energy Star light bulbs, and you'll realize just how much cash you are really burning through. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
A picture says 1,000 words, and a video says even more than that.
NCTV17 is a good partner in the community here and always bringing some interesting information about what's happening. And I think it's a unique way for us to connect to the people in the community.
NCTV is a community partner. I mean, I see them at every and any event that happens in Naperville.
It's what every kid playing ball in the backyard dreams about, hitting the clutch home run or earning the strikeout to win the World Series. Professional baseball is quite often the go-to answer when asking young players, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, earlier this month, the major leagues came calling for a trio of former Naperville stars, presenting one with a job to do and the others with a tough decision. It's the call that every minor league baseball player hopes for, the one that ushers them to the show. Former Neuqua Valley pitcher Ian Krol was on the receiving end of the line on June 4th, and one day later he was pitching in front of 36,000. Coming into the 6th inning, the rookie told the Washington media his mind was clear.
Butterflies were stirring. I was just running, not thinking about anything really, kind of just going out there and doing my job. I wasn't really thinking about the situation, the big stage, all that. I was just trying to focus and do my job.
And focus he did. After giving up a leadoff double, Kroll bore down and struck out the side. Daniel Murphy, 6-time All-Star David Wright, and cleanup hitter Lucas Duda.
And the young guy comes out of the bullpen and strikes out the side. He got Murphy, he got Wright, he got Duda.
The sequence was no surprise to his high school coach.
He has it all. He is absolutely fearless. At his very first outing, he strikes out David Wright. He didn't care. He didn't care who was standing up there.
Much like in his big league debut, strikeouts were abundant for Neuqua when Kroll was on the hill in 07 and 08. The lean left-hander mowed down more than 1.5 batters an inning in those 2 seasons while helping lead the Wildcats to a state title and a 3rd-place finish. Pro scouts started making their way to Naperville. Renner recalled being wowed by the southpaw on several occasions. One that sticks out is the 2008 Super Sectional against Collinsville.
I can't remember what inning it was, 3rd, 4th, 5th inning, and he walked the bases loaded with nobody out. And I walked out there and chewed his butt and said, you know what, you're better than this, you need to get locked in, whatever I said. And I walked back off, and he threw 9 more pitches. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and walked off the mound. It was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen.
We went back to the tape. The mound conference came after a balk, not a base on balls, and Kroll's 3rd out was a 2-pitch ground out, but considering it was 5 years ago, we'll give Renner a pass. It was still pretty amazing. More was sure to be in store for 2009, Kroll's senior season, but an athletic code violation brought a season-long exile and the end of his days as a Wildcat baseball player. When the draft came, Kroll got the call from Oakland in the 7th round and quickly made his way up the professional ranks, earning the Athletics Minor League Pitcher of the Year award after a strong 2010 at Low A Kane County and High A Stockton. The next 2 years weren't as fruitful. 2011 brought an arm injury and a 2-month suspension from the Athletics for an offensive tweet. Last season, Kroll was 2-9 in 2 major league stops with an ERA north of 5. This spring brought a change of scenery to the Washington organization and a new role, relief pitcher.
As a starter, I was, trying to focus for 6-7 innings at a time and not only have to for a couple innings, 2 at the most, so that's been helping me a lot.
It seems to have helped. In 9 2/3 innings through June 27th, the former Wildcat has yet to allow a run.
Just so blessed to be here and, just so excited to have an opportunity like this. It's awesome.
Former Naperville Central star Shane Conlon hasn't gotten the same call as Kroll quite yet, but the Kansas State first baseman has flirted with professional baseball since being drafted by the Royals in the 21st round of this year's draft.
Back is slung in and gone, a home run. K-State has tied the game.
I got a text from the Royals scout, and he said, "We're about to take you." He's been texting me all morning, and we were just like refreshing Twitter, and my roommate saw it, and then he just got it, just went nuts during our team meal, and he was cheering. Everyone was looking over like, what's going on?
The same question could be asked about the Wildcats' 2013 season. With Conlon and 6 other players hitting better than .320, Kansas State won its first conference title in 80 years, hosted the program's first regional, and finished 2 runs shy of going to the College World Series, falling in its first ever Super Regional. That put Conlon at a crossroads. Stay for another shot at going to Omaha, or start the clock on a professional career.
I went home and back to Lawrence and sat down with my parents and just, basically did pros and cons of the decision, and there were many pros for each of them.
This isn't the first time the lefty has had to make a big decision when it comes to baseball. In 2009, after leading St. Rita to a runner-up finish in the state tournament and a summer state title, he decided to transfer to his then home of Naperville Central for his senior season. He fit right in. Was he just kind of the right piece at the right time that you guys kind of needed as a spark plug?
Well, Alex, we got Roy Hobbs that moved in. I mean, it's when you think about it, I'm not so sure there was a better high school pitcher in Illinois or a better high school position player, and he comes in, and I don't care what kind of a team or what school you have, you add a player like that and it's instant. I mean, you're going to make yourself a lot better.
Come the first week of June, the Red Hawks were playing for a state title. On the other side, St. Rita.
You don't get much sleep before a night like that. I mean, I could remember, I didn't get much sleep. I woke up early.
It's like, this is Shane's team. This was Shane's moment. He rose up, and you know what? If St. Rita would have come back and beat us in that game, it wouldn't have changed anything. I mean, it still would have been a magical season for us, but with Shane Conlon on the mound at first base and at the plate, it just wasn't going to happen.
The senior struck out 10 and went the distance in a 10-4 victory. Here and now, the redshirt sophomore made plenty of people in Manhattan happy when he tweeted his plans, citing unfinished business as a reason to stay a Wildcat.
I think I'm better than the 21st round, honestly. So, hopefully that turns out the way I like it. And, there's a lot of hard work from here in 11 months to happen. So just looking forward to that.
One of Conlon's rivals on the high school field, former Naperville North outfielder and Maryland Terrapin Charlie White, also had the MLB come calling. White was picked by the Yankees in the 29th round.
What I've worked towards my whole life was, trying to get drafted and, try to make it to big league. It was a dream come true to see my name pop up on the draft tracker and then get the call from the Yankees scout that drafted me.
He rose up draft boards this season after leading the Terps with 75 hits and 39 stolen bases. That mark led the ACC.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, he's athletic. I'm sure he wishes he was about 2 or 3 inches taller and 30 pounds heavier, but you know what? Those guys love that speed. He's got a good arm and puts the ball in play, makes a lot of stuff happen. Like his dad, he was a stolen base guy.
Like Conlon, the center fielder now has some thinking to do.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it because, it's a tough decision. I love it at school, like I said earlier, and at the same time, it would be awesome to start my career. So, it's a tough decision that I'm going to have to make, but it's a good decision to have to make.
In the meantime, White has bases to steal and balls to track down in the North Woods League to keep his mind at ease. The former Husky has until July 12th to decide whether to sign with the Yankees or return to College Park. We stick with the baseball theme, but move things a bit closer to home. Nationally, Little League participation has been trending downward for the past 10 years, while potential players have flocked to other sports. And Naperville has been no different. Justin Zipser goes inside this numbers game.
Since its small beginnings in 1939, Little League Baseball has been an international institution. The Youth League for players aged 4 to 18 has been popularized by the big screen, like in the 1976 film, The Bad News Bears.
What's the matter with you? All season long you've been laughed at, crapped on. Now you got a chance to spit it back in their faces, and what do?
And to the small screen, where the Little League World Series is broadcasted on ESPN each year.
California captures the Little League World Series championship.
But today, the game has changed. From the year 2000 until 2009, the National Sporting Goods Association says the number of kids playing baseball in the United States dropped 24%. Here in Naperville, the national downward trend rings true.
I would say about 7 years ago, we might have had 500 or 600 more players in the program than we do today.
Zach Cokes plays soccer and Little League Baseball here in Naperville, a pitcher and shortstop for the Reds in the Majors division.
It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of new people, play with your friends, and like the game to play baseball.
But over the last few years, his friends have migrated.
Some of my friends have kept quitting baseball. They getting into other sports and saying it's kind of a boring game.
So where are Zach's friends going? In the same period of youth baseball's hitting slump, participation in hockey, football, and lacrosse has skyrocketed. Hockey, for example, is up a whopping 38%. Like many aspects of American society, instant gratification is now paramount. The faster pace of these other youth sports is simply more attractive. Along with dipping attendance figures in Major League Baseball and poor television ratings, it's clear that baseball is no longer America's pastime. Roberto Alomar.
Down the right field line, and a great catch by Alomar. The Gold Glover with a diving grab.
Cal Ripken Jr.
The ovation has now lasted for 8.5 minutes.
And Nolan Ryan.
That's it! Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
They're among 15 Hall of Famers to play Little League Baseball growing up. What if they went on to play another sport? Now the onus is on Little League organizations across the nation to keep players they have and to bring in new ones.
You got to go out and recruit kids a little bit, make sure they're coming back to play, make sure they're having fun. That's the important thing, is to make sure you're rotating in, having fun, and doing all those good things.
We're trying to reach out to some of the ethnic community in Naperville, maybe some people that are moving into town that they haven't experienced baseball in their home country. So we're going to try to grow the program and get more kids to play.
Census data from 2010 says that nearly 15% of all Naperville residents are Asian American, and the number is expected to rise in the future. Also expected to rise is the action on the Little League Diamond.
Some of these other sports, I think the parents are looking to them where maybe the kids are getting a little more exercise than they have in baseball over the years. So we're trying to reverse that trend by getting the coaches, especially during the practices, to get the kids running more, exercising more, stretching more before they get into their normal baseball practice.
Today's youth athletes are also more inclined to specialize in one sport year-round. Because of Illinois weather, baseball can't be played throughout the year. Naperville Little League has partnered with the Bulls Sox Academy in Lisle for indoor tryouts and practice during the winter for experienced players, and introductory clinics for players new to the game. Little League not only has to compete against more popular youth sports, but different ranks within baseball as well. Travel teams have increased in scope over the last decade. The teams usually provide higher competition and more exposure for possible college scholarships down the line.
Rounding into scores Hardegree, and he'll score standing up easily.
Next season, Naperville will add a travel element to some of its more intermediate leagues.
Little League can't really start their own travel program, but within Little League we're going to play other towns. We're going to play Brookfield next year. We're going to play LaGrange. We're going to play Elgin. So we're going to kind of expand into that area ourselves, but all under the Little League umbrella.
One bright side to all of this is the side effect of the league's consolidation.
The quality of play has gotten really good here these last few years, so the kids who are playing really want to play, and it's been fun.
The competition is up, but Little League baseball officials want participation numbers to follow suit, and that may take some time for the not-for-profit organization that's been in Naperville for more than 60 years. Board of Directors President Jim Petruzzi has been involved in youth baseball since the age of 5 and hopes that tackling the issue head-on is better than doing nothing at all.
So what we're working on now and what we worked on as a board over the last couple years really has to work. It's time to implement all our ideas.
Reporting from the beach field in Naperville, I'm Justin Zipser for the Home Stretch.
We're not done yet. More Home Stretch is on the way.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
What NCTV can do differently than other stations is they are local and they understand the local perspective.
I put us on the same plane as the big television stations in this area.
It's a partnership we rely on. It's one the whole community relies on, and Little Friends is very grateful for the support that NCTV has given us.
The U.S. Pro Mini Golf Tour made a stop in Chicago Ridge this summer for the 2013 Western Open, a tournament with thousands of dollars at stake. We caught up with some of the pros to talk about the sport. Here's their story.
It'd be great if we could win enough money to do it as a career, but as it is, it's a hobby that you actually can make some money on.
They just had the U.S. Open in Myrtle Beach, and the first place prize was $2,000. Here at Chicago Ridge Park District at Ball 4, the Western Open, first place prize is $3,000.
We started in 1997. You know, the whole idea is to promote miniature golf. We fashion ourselves after the PGA. We try to do things just like the PGA would do.
Well, the Professional Putters Association was founded in 1959. It was founded by the gentleman who founded Putt-Putt Golf Courses of America. There is no relationship between Putt-Putt and the U.S. Mini Golf Tour. That doesn't exist. The relationship with Putt-Putt is exclusively with the Professional Putters Association.
It's the Professional Putters Association. Don't mistake this game for its not-so-distant cousin, miniature golf.
Putt-Putt's set up kind of like billiards. The rails are flat, smooth aluminum, so you get a consistent kick.
Putt-Putt golf courses are designed for everybody to make holes in ones.
Mini golf, it's just the opposite. You know, we come out here and you manage the course. It's hard to come through this thing and make all twos with the occasional one, but it's more about course management.
This is hole 11 on the course. I don't think it is that tricky as long as you know how to play it.
This is, aesthetically, it's one of the prettiest courses we play.
No, when we built this course, I never knew there was a pro mini golf tournament or association. Once we started building this course, wanted to get involved a little bit and see what kind of courses they went to and where their tournaments were played. They had us host the Illinois Open, which we're very proud of, and we've hosted it every year since we opened from '07 to now. They awarded us the U.S. Open. Actually, this year is the Western Open, which is going to be considered one of the pro tournaments majors. And we're real proud that they created actually a tournament for Chicagoland area and for this course.
This is hole 4 of the course. It is a little trickier because there are 2 ways to go to the hole. I prefer going underneath because it seems to me that every time I do that, I get it closer to the hole. Whatever way fits for you, then you should use that. Yes!
nobody else's terms, just in my terms. The Professional Putters Association on putt-putt golf courses play a game of skill. There are obstacles, but there's no animals in the middle of the fairway that's going to cause you to hit the ball in the alligator's mouth and have this come out its tail and drop it in the cup. There's no skill involved in that.
I don't know what Joe's talking about, and I don't think he knows what he's talking about either. We don't have clowns and alligators and stuff like that. At one time, many, many years ago, they did, but not now. Now we have adventure-style courses, and I have nothing wrong with Joe, but at one time he refused to let any of his players participate in our tournaments.
We were just allowed to start playing the mini golf tour about 7 or 8 years ago. It used to be 2 separate tours, and we weren't allowed to cross over between the 2 tours.
The problem with Joe is that he's losing players, and we're gaining. He's going downhill.
Putt-putt's kind of in a decline, which is sad, and it's because the courses are starting to shut down across the country.
It used to be a lot bigger back in the 70s and 80s. They all had arcade rooms and everything, and I think that's probably when putt-putt had its heyday. I think miniature golf in general is doing pretty well.
We've been on every major TV show you can think of. It is worldwide, and it's growing very fast. We get new courses in the U.S. all the time.
This is hole 15 on the course. To me, personally, I think this is one of the easiest holes.
Believe it or not, we're working with first tee, and we work with a lot of kids here, and we show them etiquette, how to hold a putter, how to stand, the stroke. So I think that's a major step forward, which we want to get started in Chicago Ridge.
This is hole 16 on the course.
It's definitely about, getting in at the ground floor with the kids and getting them out there and showing them what it's all about. But kids got so many options nowadays.
I'm just so involved in everything right now that my life is just so busy. I barely have time for other things. Baseball, I'm on a travel baseball team and an in-house baseball team. I was on the chess team for my school, and I'm in a rock band with another kid from Naperville named Neil Surdy. I just play so many sports, and I play a lot of instruments. This, as you can see, is hole 3 of the Ball 4 miniature golf course. Well, mini golf isn't as important as some of those things because I don't really think I can get a scholarship for mini golf, but I think that right now I'm at a time in my life, yes, mini golf, it falls right in there with a fun activity that I can do that just whenever I want to, I can come out there.
That's it for this edition of The Home Stretch. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll have 2 more episodes later this summer. We hope you can tune in then as well. I'm Alex Symonds. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.